drinking wouldn't have allowed me to explore this other area of me and kind of was keeping me at this level. Like drinking, when you're drinking a lot, never elevates you. It never progresses you forward. All it does is just keep you here. Keeps you here. You know, you never have heard anybody ever say that I am really glad I started drinking again. Nobody's ever said that because there's no reason to be glad if you've stopped and you've seen the positive aspects that drinking has made towards your life being improved in every way, shape, or form. It's like there's no reason to look back, and that's where I'm sitting right now. I'm really not even like, oh, I'm 100 days sober. I hope I can make it 100 more. I'm almost like drinking isn't even a thing for me anymore. I don't drink, and life has gotten so much better without drinking in every way. So I know a lot of people hit me up on Twitter about being sober. I know a lot of people always ask me questions about it. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. I want to form a place where people can get together and talk about issues with addiction. It doesn't have to be limited to alcohol. It can be any other addiction. I know there's every addiction out there. And even if you're having a hard time in life with depression, if you're having a hard time in life with your family, with work, anything, I know that everybody needs somebody to talk to, and not everybody has somebody to talk to. So I'm going to use Ruin Your Day as a platform for that. Every week on Wednesdays, I haven't decided a time yet, probably around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to have Ruin Your Day live for an hour. And basically what's going to be happening is the chat is going to be live, and that's going to be used as the floor for everybody to talk. I might be on a video feed answering questions to the chat. I might pull up some music that Ruin Your Day made to play. I might play some video in the background. It's going to be sort of a free-form vehicle type of feed. There's not going to be really a set thing that we're doing. The only thing that I want to go on is I want people to feel like it's a safe place to come into and talk and vent, talk to other people, maybe give advice. I'll be in there if anybody wants to ask any questions about being sober. I can give whatever advice I can for that. And yeah, essentially, I just think there needs to be a place like that. I think AA works really well for a lot of people because it's a community. It's a strong-knit community. You have a sponsor that holds you accountable for not drinking. You have other people that are going through the same thing as you. You realize there's a whole world out there of people that just don't drink. And that's rare these days, honestly. So I want there to be a place like that on Ruin Your Day doesn't have to be just limited to alcohol. It could be anything. You know, like my parents went through some heart problems this year, and that really devastated me. So, you know, I needed somebody to talk to about that. My ex-girlfriend's dog that I really love got cancer. My close friend just had cancer. So it's been tough for me as well this year, and I'm really thankful that I've had Ruin Your Day to talk to you guys about battle rap and forget about the troubles in my life, but I want to give back, and I want to create a platform where we can all come together and sort of be each other's shoulder to lean on every now and then. So just wanted to make this video to talk about me getting sober, my experience with it. Honestly, to wrap this up, being sober is like probably the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. Me breaking up with my ex-girlfriend that I love to this day has been the best thing that's ever happened to me too as well. It's really like jump-started me to make big improvements in my life that I'm really proud of. And yeah, I mean, I think anybody out there that's struggling with addiction, the first question you need to ask for yourself, if you're thinking that you might have a drug problem, alcohol problem, any sort of problem, is if I'm asking myself if I have a problem, I might have a problem. Do you want to take the next step to solving it? Do you want to get clean? Do you want to get sober? And all I can say is being sober is amazing. It's great. I would never trade it for anything. It works really well for me. Other people can drink responsibly. I'm not one of those people. I can't drink responsibly at all. So, yeah, guys, I just want to thank you all for helping me through my year of sobriety. You guys really made a huge difference in my life. I want to thank everybody out there that supported Ruin Your Day, all the patrons, all the people that did a watch episode, all the guests, all the people that tuned in for watch, everybody that bought merch, everybody that bought music. It means the world to me. So thank you guys. Sup everybody, welcome to Ruin an Hour, a safe place to talk about sobriety, addiction, anxiety, depression, life, and balance. My name is Kyle. Some of you may know me as Avocado. And this is a 1 hour stream where I chat with everybody in the chat. You guys can talk with each other. We can talk about absolutely anything you guys want to talk about. This is a safe place to talk about anything. So, how is everybody doing today? Hopefully good. I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Just got back from the gym. I did I did shoulders today, and I ran 8 miles, and then I walked home from the gym. And I think my gym's I don't know, 6 miles away from here. So did a lot of cardio today. So it was good. But yes, sir. Feeling good. Feeling good about life. Have I ever thought about doing a workout channel? No, because I'm not that in shape. I mean, it's funny. I work out at Gold's Venice, which is the mecca of bodybuilding. I see pro bodybuilders every single day in there. And I'm always the smallest guy every single time by far. I'm not ever the most in shape person there. I don't really consider myself that knowledgeable about, working out in fitness. I've just been doing it for a really long time, so I know what kind of works for me, and I'm still figuring stuff out, I do a shit ton of fucking cardio right now, which some people might not say is good, because I'm probably eating away a lot of my muscle, but I love cardio, so what can you say? I've never surfed. No, I haven't. BT, what kind of big changes are you trying to make? I've been sober for a year and 2 months, I think, because I got sober in July of last year. So yeah, September. So yeah, a year and 2 months. Amy, how you doing? I don't meditate, but I should start. Should look into it, and I should start for sure. Thank you, Solo. Appreciate that, man. Subconscious. I really, sorry to hear that, dog. Happy belated birthday to you, man. Hopefully you can celebrate it. I weigh 190 pounds right now. Michael, I don't have Instagram, so I haven't seen Daylight's Insta Lives. Eddie, what up? What's poppin', Maine? Thank you, man. Have you thought about reaching out to Murderland and Darkside about filming their rounds? Could film them separately and edit them together somewhere. Yeah, man. I mean, just to answer that really quick, I tend to not really answer battle rap related questions in the show, but to be honest, I think that battle is best left alone right now. I think what we got out of it is kind of a sign that it's just a lot of bad energy around that battle, and I think it's best if we just move on. 9 planets. When I woke up from blackout drinking, your sober video came up and it changed my life. Thank you, man. That means a lot, dude. That means a fuck ton. Thank you. Really appreciate that. In your view, Avo, what do you think has a bigger impact, a supportive group of friends or strengthening self-control? I think working on yourself is by far the most important thing. Definitely having a good support group of people around you is really important. That's where focus groups like AA and SAA and other groups like that really strive and really do really good work when you have a group of people that is encouraging towards a certain lifestyle change. But you can't get anywhere until you want it inside. You can't get anywhere until you really want to fix yourself and do something for yourself. So if you haven't figured out why you do things, like I'm an alcoholic, I'm a sex addict, if I didn't figure out why I had those addictions and what triggers me for them, I would just be around people that wanted me to be sober, and I didn't want to be sober, which has happened in the past. I quit drinking 2 years ago for 100 days, and I really didn't want to quit drinking. I was kind of just doing it. I don't know if you guys know of people that do like dry Januaries and shit like that, but really all that happens is they like are sober for all of January, then comes around February and they drink twice as hard all month. So it's like, why were you sober in January if you're just gonna like binge drink in February? It makes no sense. And that's kind of what I did. I didn't really figure out myself and why I wanted to be sober until I got completely sober for myself. Nobody made me get sober this time. There was no like person telling me I needed to get sober. It was completely for me, and I completely just like knew I needed a lifestyle change. And every single day, I'm thankful for being sober. Literally every single day, I'm grateful that I do not do the stuff I used to do. I'm never, belligerently drunk anymore. I don't do hurtful things to people that I love. I don't like go down a wormhole and do like super hurtful things to myself. I don't endanger my life. I don't endanger other people's lives anymore just to get drunk. So yeah, I'm super grateful I'm sober. But long-winded question or answer, but I think fixing yourself is by far the most important thing to do when you're struggling with anything in life. Really sitting with your own feelings and knowing where they come from, knowing why you want to drink so much, why you want to sleep with a bunch of women, why you want to smoke cigarettes all the time, why do you want to catch a buzz, why you want to do drugs, why do you want to do these things, because there's a reason. If you're addicted like I was to these things, there's a reason why. And once you find out that reason and you cope with it, you can live life as a sober person and live life completely happy. I think people can do it. But how's everybody else doing? Scotty, thank you, man. I really appreciate you. Means a lot. GFP 420, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Ronnie. Means a lot, man. Hollow's not going to be here. I don't know if I changed the title. It should be changed, but he was supposed to come, but he didn't. A Plus asks, how do you know if you're a sex addict? I mean, I guess that's kind of like a subjective question. Everybody will like define addiction for themselves in different ways, shapes, or forms. But I think an addict, at least for me, is that when you're jeopardizing your health, when you're jeopardizing your work, when you're jeopardizing your relationship to get that fix. So for drinking, if like you're drunk driving all the time, you're jeopardizing your health, you're jeopardizing your life. Like if you're a sex addict, you're like calling into work to like go sleep with people all day. That's like an addictive personality or addictive trait. Sex addiction is definitely different than things like alcoholism because it's a little bit harder to define because sex is natural. So it's like there's definitely like this give or take between like what's okay, what's not okay. But I kind of define it as that. If you're like jeopardizing work, your health, other people's lives, then it's addictive, an addictive thing for you. So, do my drinking friends pressure me to drink? No, they don't. To be honest, though, to be really honest with you, I don't really go out anymore. I don't really hang out with a lot of people anymore. I've kind of grown distant from my friends, which is my issue. And I need to work on that. That's not their fault at all. That's my fault. And I need to get more comfortable around people that are drinking still. I'm still like not really comfortable yet. And that's, again, my issue. But my friends don't pressure me to drink. And to be really honest with you, I found that me stopping drinking has actually made people around me quit too. Like a lot of people that I'm close with have backed off drinking ever since I got sober. They haven't completely stopped or got sober themselves, but they definitely have slowed down. Like I notice, like when I go and hang out with my friends at a casual like Sunday affair, they used to be all drinking during the day because I was drinking too. And now I notice that drinking isn't so much of an activity. It's like people will have some like the women will have some like rosé or something like that during the day or some wine, but sometimes they're not even drinking. They're just drinking water, you know, or they'll have like one drink, you know, they'll just get a buzz. So yeah, they don't really pressure me. Do I wish guests on watch didn't drink or smoke? No, I actually don't think it's an issue for people on watch to do whatever they want. But I will say this, we don't allow hard alcohol on watch anymore because every guest that there's been a lot of abusive instances of hard alcohol on the show where we have to vault episodes because people get a little bit too drunk. And that only happens with hard alcohol. So, you know, if anything, I allow, you know, Ilmac's really good. Ilmac only drinks like 1 or 2 beers through a watch. And he's really kind of the only guy that drinks. Geechee doesn't really drink. Hollow doesn't drink. You know, and if they do, they're like lightweights. They'll have like a beer and that's it. So, but smoking weed's fine. I really don't care about that. I personally just don't do it. Eddie I asks, do you find the whole not going out thing to be a negative thing in your life, or do you feel you're better off without that kind of shit? I mean, I do feel like I need to find a better ground on how to be a little bit more social, because a lot of my life is pretty much just working, going to the gym, and working on Ruin Your Day. Like, I don't really have that big of a social life. You know, on the weekends, if I'm here in LA, I usually land from battle rap events on Sundays pretty early. So I'll like watch football with some of my homies, or like, you know, I'll see like my ex-girlfriend every now and then and I'll walk the dogs with her. But like, I don't really have that big of a social life, and I don't think it's that big of a negative because a lot of my social interactions come from Ruin Your Day and come from being at events and meeting fans. And that to me is more important than going out. Going out's really fun, and it definitely is dope and fun if you can handle it. I'm just not one of those people that can really handle going out because it's like I kind of go too hard when I used to drink. But I don't feel like I'm missing anything at all. If anything, I feel a lot better when I don't go out and I get a good, healthy amount of sleep. I feel a lot better. So when will there be more hoodies in the Ruin Your Day shop? Soon. I'm actually, I just ordered a bunch of hats, so there'll be more dad hats. But, yeah, so the hoodies will be soon. I'm just waiting for it to get colder. I don't run on the beach. I just run on the treadmill because I'm a fucking pussy. No, I'm kidding. Just because I like the treadmill more, and it's really hard to run on the beach. So I guess I am kind of a pussy. Malice 508 Dolo, what up, bro? Thank you, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate it. What do you do when you feel like you're gonna relapse? So I think what you're asking is when I'm triggered to do stuff. Oddly enough, I'm never triggered to drink, but I am triggered every now and then with my sex addiction, for sure. That's a little bit more common. And when I'm triggered with that, I just think about how I'll feel after. Kind of like if you're triggered with drinking, how you'll feel the next day when you're sober up. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel the come down after doing something that I'm going to regret. And you basically, when you're triggered, you're supposed to do what's called riding the wave of being triggered. And like, you really want to drink, you really want to smoke, you really want to do a drug, you really want to sleep with like an anonymous person or whatever, you know, that urge will eventually go away. It will even out, and then you'll look back on before the urge and be like, man, I can't believe I even felt like that. I feel like I don't even want to do that anymore. So it's kind of just like riding the wave because the urges will subside and they'll go away. You know, everything comes with a wave. Same thing with grief too, oddly enough. When you feel a lot of grief, when somebody like a family member passes or something like that, it's literally like a wave that just hits you every single day. And you just gotta like let the wave wash over you and go away. And the next day it'll be a smaller wave and a smaller wave and a smaller wave, and eventually the wave won't hit you anymore. Milano, that's amazing. Fucking congrats on the rehab, dude. What do you think stems from alcohol or substance abuse in general? Is it a personality issue or a lifestyle thing? I mean, for me, it was my family are drinkers. So I came from a family of like alcoholics. There weren't like really abusive alcoholics or anything like that. So it was like okay, like no, there was no violence or anything like that, or like no problems in my family. My family is wonderful. But we all drink a lot. And that's kind of how I got away with drinking for so long, because I justified it as like, well, I don't like fight people, or I don't like try to like cheat on my girlfriend or whatever. But then eventually that became true. I cheated on my girlfriend a lot, and I didn't try to fight people, but I drove like all the fucking time. So like, it definitely became a personality thing for sure. And I think a lot of it was because I was subconsciously unhappy with my surroundings. I was doing a career that I was like mostly pissed off at, and that made me not care about myself even. Like, and I just wanted to like, I literally didn't fucking care. I like did tons and tons of fucking insane shit that I didn't care about the consequences. And I think when I was finally like held accountable for a lot of things, that's when it kind of clicked that I was like, oh, I'm fucking up. I'm doing a lot of shit wrong. So when I changed my lifestyle, it's got a lot better. Like my current lifestyle, I'm not triggered to do anything like that ever. Like I'm not triggered to drink at all. Like you could put a fucking beer in front of me right now and crack it open and I could smell it, and I could be at a party and I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you know, I'll drink, whatever. I haven't drank in like a year and a half, whatever. I would just be like, nah, I don't want to. It's fine. Got a little behind. Sorry, guys. So was filming battles an escape for you or a trigger? It was definitely an escape, and filming battles has been the most positive thing that I've done in my life. I feel like it's what I was put here to do. I feel like I'm the best at what I do, and I love what I do. So it's like that combination is like golden, and I'm really lucky I have it. I'm really blessed. Hell yeah, the real to fly. Appreciate you, man. Always happy to reach out. 9 planets. I feel like I'm ignoring you right now. I haven't seen any of your posts. But Pigsty, thanks, man, for modding the room. Appreciate you. I don't smoke. I never really was a weed smoker, but I did smoke a lot of cigars, and especially when I quit drinking, I smoked cigars every single day. I smoked a cigar every single day. So I quit smoking cigars when my dad was diagnosed with congestive heart failure in February of last year, and I quit because I was like, well, if I quit, he's not going to be tempted to smoke cigars with me anymore, and he needs to stop smoking. So, and I know we kind of do it as a bonding experience between each other, so I quit. That was my excuse, but really, you know, I needed to fucking quit smoking cigars. So I'm pretty, like, I will say I'm pretty healthy right now. Like, I don't smoke, I don't drink. Walrus Porn Star, thank you, man. I hope you're good, man. I saw that you're like, are you moving to New York or just going to New York? And I also don't drink anything but water. This is all I drink. I don't drink juice, coffee, tea. Not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but I found just drinking water, I don't even drink sparkling water, does wonders for me. Like, it's crazy. I haven't been sick in fucking forever. I am in the best shape I've ever been in. I sleep really well. I don't have any like skin issues. Yeah, I mean, eat a lot of vegetables. I eat like pretty minimal meat now too. And yeah, it's going hella good. What's your advice for people that train one addiction for another? I mean, that's kind of what I was doing at first when I quit. Um, because I stopped drinking and started smoking cigars. And that's the thing, is like you got to understand why you want to numb yourself. And I like after a while understood why. And the funny part, and it's funny because you guys might have timed him out, but he was saying that life is boring sober, and I used to think that too. I used to think life was really boring sober, because when you have a thing that you've been doing, I'm 35, for like, I started drinking when I was like 18 to 21, sometime in there, when I've been doing it for like 16 years, and you quit, and it's something that supposedly all your social life is around, all your fun is around. You think at first, you're like, oh man, life sucks. Life is so boring. This sucks. There's like nothing to do on the weekends. I come home from work and there's like, I'm bored. But really, life is so much better being sober, man. I can't even tell you. I enjoy life so much more in my state of sobriety. Like, I like walked home from the gym today, and I don't know, just like looking around is like, I feel more just like here in the fucking world. Like I feel more like grounded to the earth and like in the moment. When I was drunk, I feel, or like when I was drinking a lot, I felt like I was just like, there was like a blanket over me. I wasn't really like connected. And yeah, man, I don't know. I've seen it with a lot of people, to be honest. I've seen it with some big people in battle rap who've gotten sober, and I could tell that they're just more connected and they're more themselves. It brings more of my personality out too, especially if you look at early episodes of Watch. I was just watching today the episode of Averb versus Hollow, which is like one of the best battles of all time, and we're like doing shots in the Watch, because that was one of the first episodes we ever filmed. And just like listening to how I'm talking and how I look, it's crazy. It's literally like I'm a different person. I was a different person back then. Like I feel like some of the things I was saying, I'm like, I would never say that now. So yeah, it's crazy looking back on it, man. But yeah, living sober is dope. Tim, congrats on 12 years of sobriety, man. That's amazing. Walrus Porn Star, you bring up a great point. I haven't kicked the drink yet, but I found the best way to kick the addiction is to find something that makes you enjoy your day. So in AA, a really good thing they do is they call what's called the inner circle, and your inner circle is like drinking, your addiction. You're like drinking. For me, it was drinking and sex. So my outer circle are activities that don't involve drinking or sex. So I couldn't be like, oh, my inner circle is that, so my outer circle is day drinking. My outer circle would be like hiking, going to the gym, shooting music videos, working on stuff I love, designing clothes, reading a book, having a conversation, walking my ex-girlfriend's dogs, stuff like that. Stuff that like really encourages a healthy lifestyle outside of your inner circle. So yeah, I mean, finding those things is kind of hard sometimes, especially when your life is kind of centered around like your inner circle. But your outer circle is definitely something that's like super beneficial to like make a list of. If you guys want to start doing that, I would suggest it highly. Astro, funny enough, that's exactly why my roommate smokes too. He says that his mind works really fast and he doesn't have an appetite ever, so he smokes to slow his mind down and to get an appetite. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't know, weed is a tricky one too, because it's like I said, like my kind of definition of addiction is if it's endangering your health, jeopardizing what you do for a living, so your income, hurting anybody you care about, or jeopardizing your life, then it's a problem. But if it's something that's not doing any of that, it's like you could handle it. I think there's a lot of people that can perfectly handle drinking. I think there's a lot of people in this world that can perfectly handle smoking weed. I think weed is not bad. I think like there's a lot of good things that weed does for people. Johan. I'm in a tough spot right now. I just turned 21 with all my friends. All anyone cares about is drinking and drugs and partying. I grew up one half. I'll wait for your other part of this. Yeah, enigmatic ecstasy. I've heard that too, that it's a good antidepressant. But yeah, Johan, yo, man, like just because you're turning 21 doesn't mean you have to drink, and also just because um, just because I'm an alcoholic doesn't mean you're gonna be too. I don't know if you have experience with alcoholism or addiction or anything like that, but it's very possible you're not an addict. It's very possible you're not an addict. So it's like tough for me to like really give you advice if you don't know if you're an addict or not. I mean, I think it's healthy to try things. I think it's healthy if you want to try to drink, you can, but do it within reason. I grew up with 2 alcoholic parents. Okay, never mind. And never want to drink because I know how easily I get addicted to things. Okay, completely negate what I said. Apologies. Definitely then stay true, man. Like, you can completely go your life being sober. Like, it's not hard at all. And you can also be the person that's sober that parties with your friends. And furthermore, to be honest with you, you're not going to be missing out or hurting yourself by not drinking. Trust me, you're missing out on nothing. If you want to go and party with your friends and be there and be sober, you're not missing out on anything by not drinking. Nothing bad is going to happen by not drinking, man. I can guarantee you that. Nothing bad is going to happen if you choose not to drink. So it's just kind of like about controlling how much you want to put up with at a party. You might want to like bounce early sometimes. But yeah, that's perfectly fine, man. And I know it's tough to like, especially when you have a bunch of people around you that are giving you peer pressure. It's hard to like not succumb to that, but just know like that you don't want to do that, especially if you grew up with 2 alcoholic parents and you saw the nasty side of drinking. Know that it could get there, you know? So it's like, especially if you have an addictive personality, know that it's possible to go down that road and to know yourself. So hope that makes sense. All the times I've tried to kick black and gave up 24, 34 hours in, I spent combined time dope sick enough to kick H like 10 times. Just have to do it all the way. Yeah, man. So you're trying to kick heroin, I'm assuming, John? I know that's really hard. I know that there's a huge sense of withdrawal, but look at it like doing something that you just need to get through. Like you just need to get through this hard test and trial to get to your destination of being sober. And you're not going to get there unless you go through it, man. It's going to be really hard, but you know, the payoff will be big to be sober. So I know it sucks, and quitting anything is kind of difficult, man. Especially getting sober is hard for anything, and I know that in especially is difficult. But yeah. Yeah, word. I've heard that. Heroin controls you when you don't have it. That's really fucking true. But I will say that heroin is crazy, man. I've had friends die from heroin. Haven't had any friends die from smoking weed. So I would say heroin's a very serious thing. And especially if something controls you when you don't have it, do you really want that in your life? Do you really want something? Because then that thing has complete control over you. Because then if you don't have it, it's going to make you fucking sick, you know? So it's like, do you really want something like that in your life, that if you don't have that one thing, it will like make you sick? So Thank you, Stefan. Appreciate it, man. Philly, I'll see you on October 6th. Thank you, DJ Rebellion. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, Eddie, I heard that heroin's super big out there. Lex told me about that. Yeah, John, I still don't remember who had the office bars. It's escaping me. Apologies. So that singer's reaction, I've wanted to try weed. I've never smoked or drank, but anxiety and depression has been a big thing lately. It's been hard, man, not wanting to live and stuff when your mind is dark. So I will say this, man, if you're struggling with anxiety and depression, the last thing you need to do is numb out your feelings with weed and alcohol. Weed and alcohol is going to make your depression, or I should say alcohol is going to make your depression a lot worse because alcohol is a depressant. That's what it does. It depresses you. Also, alcohol is going to make your anxiety way worse too because you're going to fucking end up doing shit that's just going to heighten your anxiety. So it's not really going to numb anything out. Plus, also, all alcohol does is keep you at whatever level you're at with anybody. I don't care what anybody says. All alcohol does is keep you where you're at. It doesn't advance you at all. It basically puts a ceiling where you're at when you're a heavy drinker, and it doesn't allow you to go up. It just allows you to be there or go down. So if you want to break out of something that you're already dealing with, picking up drinking is not a good idea. That's actually the worst thing you could do. I would suggest looking up ways to cope with anxiety. A lot of people do things like getting out of their environment, like taking a walk. A close friend of mine deals with anxiety, and she has said that she knows herself well enough to not drink when she has it, and she basically does a lot of self-care when she has anxiety. She sleeps a good 8 hours. She makes sure not to go out with her friends. She gets exercise and eats healthy. So basically all those factors kind of give you an even playing field for dealing with that anxiety. Depression is a lot different. I don't know if weed is the best thing for those things, but I know that a lot of people do use CBD to cope with anxiety, and like Enigmatic Ecstasy said earlier, he uses weed to cope with depression as well. So it's like, I'm not the most knowledgeable about weed at all and CBD because I don't do it, but I've heard good things about it. So I can't really suggest it, but I can't really say it's not a good idea. But I will say that if you're dealing with depression and anxiety, alcohol is a terrible idea. That singer's reaction, I mean, dude, that's great that you're weaning off Xanax. Good luck with that. I know that's really, really hard. So Jamal Sanders asks, don't you think that being sober isn't beating alcoholism? And nobody's trying to beat alcoholism. Um, Me personally, I'm an alcoholic, and I'll always be an alcoholic. I'm not trying to beat it. What I'm trying to do is live with it. So the way I live with it is I live in a state of sobriety. Other people that aren't alcoholics can drink and be fine. I'm not personally that person, so living in a state of sobriety is how you deal with a thing like an addiction to alcohol. So that's my answer to that. Thank you, John. I appreciate you opening up, bro. Also, the Don Dada brings up a good thing. I've been using meditation as a method of dealing with depression and anxiety, and I've had really good results. Meditation is something that we never talk about on this show, that we need to. I'm not the biggest person that's educated on meditation. I don't personally practice it in my free time. I'm not adverse to it at all, but I just don't really have any experience with it, so that's why I never bring it up. But I do breathing exercises every now and then. I just inhale for 4 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds. And also, before you go to sleep, it's good to do what's called gut breathing, because a lot of time you breathe with your chest. You know, like when you inhale, it's like your chest is like the thing doing the inhale. When you lie down in bed before you go to sleep, try what's called gut breathing. And what that is like you fill up your stomach with air, and it feels really uncomfortable and weird because you're not used to doing it. But doing slow breathing exercises like that actually like does calm me down a lot. So I know there's a lot of other like way more intricate forms of meditation that are amazing. I just personally haven't done any of them. That's why I don't talk about them. But yeah, I know it works wonders. I've not tried sun gazing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know that breathing with your chest is like a really stressful thing too. Mindfulness and meditation is where you're at. Changed my whole life. That's dope. I've been trying to practice mindfulness really hard, like living in the moment. It's pretty difficult though. I'll say that. You can also get meditation apps. I used to work right next door to this app called Headspace, which is a big meditation app. You know, a lot of those apps I'm kind of like, meh, I don't really know if they're that good because I feel like they might be like just stealing people's money. But at the end of the day, everybody's a business and trying to make a living. So it's like, whatever. But Headspace I know is a good one. And I know people that have done it that have really liked it. So definitely check that one out. And it's an app too, so you can download it from your phone. But also Don Dada suggested going to a class. That's really dope. I actually want to go to a fucking class. I should totally do that this week or something. Once you learn in a class to do it on your own, go to a park or a quiet space and meditate. Yep, that's good. Okay, a few shows ago you mentioned a book that you mentioned you read or were reading about motivation. What's the name of it? So I read 2 books recently that I really like. The first one is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Mason. It's really good. And then the other one is Emotional Agility by Susan Davis. And I kind of like Emotional Agility more, to be honest with you. I found it to resonate with me better. And to be honest, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck was really good, but I didn't really like the author's tone throughout it. He seemed a little like sarcastic and like young and kind of harped too much on like sleeping with a lot of women, which I'm like, that doesn't get you any points in my book. So I kind of like that Emotional Agility was written by a woman too. I liked that off cuff more. But yeah, those 2 books, pick them up. They're both really good. I highly suggest them. Goggins. So yeah, Goggins. David Goggins. He is amazing. If you guys want to check out some motivation shit by him, peep it. Man, fuck. Yo, I'm gonna fucking play some of his. Just hold on. I'll plug in the headphone jack and we can listen to some David Goggins, I think. Just hold on. Sorry about this, boys. Apologies. Alright. Totally didn't set this up for this, but fuck it. We'll do it live. Let's see, does this work? Check, check. Cool. Alright, we're in business. Alright, let's fucking watch some David Goggins. What do you guys want to watch? Like, I know there's some good ones. I was just gonna pull up like any fucking like motivational thing by him. But if you guys have a suggestion, I'm with it. I'm super with it. Let me know. Just setting this up. Capture video, select screen, blah, blah, blah. Screen region. Right here. Boom, boom. Okay. There we go. All right. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's get this shit up. What David Goggins should we watch? So to just give you some background on this guy, he's what's called an ultra runner. And what those people are, I didn't even know what this was till pretty recently. They're like a form of marathon runners that run insane distances, like 100 miles in a day. I thought I was badass for running 8 miles in a day, but I'm obviously not even fucking, I don't even hold a candle light to this fool. Should we watch the clip about him doing drugs? maybe that's good. He's a Navy SEAL. And he's a super fucking, like literally I watched a video of him at like 2 a.m. one night when I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to go just fucking work out afterwards. He's super, super motivating, and not just in a way to work out, but just about not doubting yourself, because basically he has been the only person that went through the Navy SEAL program that did what's called Hell Week. And usually SEALs do that once. He did it 3 times. He's also the only person to do an ultra run of 100 miles, I think. He did 5 in a week or something like that. So he ran 500 miles in a week. And he has a bunch of health issues too. He has heart problems. He has ankle issues as well. So he really, really makes you feel like when you say you can't do something like getting sober, that you're really just quitting on yourself. And when you look at other people that can accomplish things, you're like, and you make excuses for them, like, oh, this guy's in like better shape than me. Oh, he's like only in good shape because of genetics, you know? When really it's you're just like giving an excuse to why you can't accomplish that too, because everything is accomplishable. So yeah. Anthony, I'm so sorry, Abo. My family and friends have been drinking again. Not just that, it's been fucking me up so bad. I'm an old fuck up. I'm 37 years of wasted potential. I want to drink myself to death. Anthony, no, man, you're not a wasted potential at all. You have a perfectly good amount of time to get sober again, man. Like, falling off the wagon is not a do or die deal, man. Like, people relapse. People fall off the wagon. Like, people fuck up. Like, it's part of life. Making mistakes is part of life. Failing is part of life. You'll never succeed at something without failing. So sobriety is just like that. You'll never go through life being sober perfect. Like, the thought of like going through life perfectly sober and never fucking up at all is fucking nuts. So don't beat yourself up for it, man, and don't give up. Tomorrow is a new day. Today is a new hour. Right now is a new second. So the present is all that matters. The past isn't real, and the only way you can make the past real is bringing it up with memories. So all that matters is right now and what you do in this moment. So if you want to get sober, just don't drink and just try again. Get back up on the wagon. It's fine. If you fall off again, it's completely fine, man. All that matters when you fail is how you pick yourself back up. It's really all there is. So hope that helped, man. It's just a speed bump. It's good, Macon. Appreciate that. But yeah, continue typing, Anthony. I'm going to play this David Goggins on drinking alcohol and doing drugs.
And I know one thing that we spoke about it before camera, that you're to most of the world, you're super clean. Like, you don't do drugs. You never done drugs.
No.
You never had alcohol. Well, you never had alcohol. You don't drink alcohol.
No, I've tasted alcohol, but
Yeah.
no, I've never. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think that that is due probably to your father that used to drink a lot?
It's probably due to him, but it's also due to, at a young age, I realized that I had a very weak mind,
Yeah.
and I want nothing to interfere with my own thought process.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people before they go on stage, they get a little bit tipsy, get a little buzz,
Yeah.
maybe smoke a little something, do a little something.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that every single thing I feel is real.
Got it.
I want no masking.
Yeah.
I want nothing to mask my ability to feel fear, to overcome fear, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people who drink and do these different things are trying to hide. Some people just do it. For me, I think of it as almost like a masking agent, so then your mind doesn't have to work as hard. And
Yeah.
that means I'm losing.
Yeah, me and my wife, we love drinking, and we used to go out, like Sunday was our mimosa day, like brunch day,
Right.
and then we would go to dinner, and we would just drink for the heck of it.
Right.
And we lost it on. We had our battles. Like the last 6 years have been a battle. This year has been the best year ever in our lives, and it got to the point where I said, you know what? How can I improve?
Right.
And I'm not an alcoholic to anything close to that, but we did drink dinners and brunches and that kind
Nothing
of
wrong
stuff.
with that.
But I said, you know what? How can I get better? And I said, I'm just gonna stop the drinking. So I said, no more liquor. So I said, no more. I'm gonna go 30 days no liquor. I've never gone 30 days no liquor since I was like 19 when I started. So and she was telling me, you can't do it. You can't do it. So I said, I'm gonna do it just to
Right.
prove something to myself.
Right.
So I went and I committed to 30 days. And I set these goals. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a 6-pack. I'm going to make this amount of money. I'm going to do this. And I did it. And then I'm like, wow. And then I had a couple of drinks after that. And I had the hangover. And it just so many cons.
Right.
And I said, it's not worth it. Like, I like the no drinking. I like the high of being productive better.
Right.
It saved me like 6-7 hours a week. Just because when you get a drink, you want that extra drink, you stay longer at the bar.
Right.
Then it takes you a couple hours to get started the next day. So I said, what if I don't do it? And just my business went like that. And then I did 2 days again where I went out and picked out.
I don't know. Most
ate
of this
pizza.
was just this other fucking fool talking, so that wasn't that good. Maybe this one is good.
Phones and your computer, your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, yeah, it's great. We're up to date. But your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death, real life. You can't Google that, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain. And your brain is talking to you in all kind of ways. And it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. What existed for me was, okay, man, how am I going to make this work? And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. I'm not getting I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the f***'s in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read it again. Still not getting it. Read it again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I gotta write out everything I do. And then write it out again, and write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I can't swim, I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim, go back again. Go back again, go back again. I got it. I realized if I keep going back and going back and going back until the just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're gonna figure it out, because he is not going to stop. It's not like I'm gonna try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off, boop, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. They said, okay, we're gonna adapt and overcome now. Like a lot of people say, trying hard. Your mind knows, man. It knows this guy's bull. I mean, man, this guy's lying. There's no truth behind it. When I was in Navy SEAL training, people go, how were you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 hell weeks in 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I talk about the new norm. When I lived in a $7 a month place when I was growing up for a short period of time, I loved it. I didn't know any different. That was my norm. Once we moved out of that place, we moved to a $236 a month place. I was like, I never want to go back to that little piece of shit. But if you go back to that $7 a month place and you realize this is where I live, this is all I got, your mind says, roger that, this is home. So when I was going through Navy SEAL training for 18 months and going back through all the hard parts over and over again, I told myself after the first time, I knew it was gonna be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I said, you know what, this is my new norm. So my mind said, it's like going to work. Like you go to work, you put your suit and tie on, I go into suffering every day. Every day, suffering, being broken, duct taping my feet up, stress fractures, shin splints, being broken. This is my new norm. And your mind says, if we're not broken, this ain't normal. We gotta be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher and tougher and more callous. People go, how'd you run on broken feet? Broken shins. My mind knew this is how we operate. We're in Navy SEAL training. This is what we are. I became hell. And that became my new norm. I gave myself no way out. There was nothing outside these walls of hell. Nothing. I love God, but for a short period of time.
Yo, Anthony, dude, you didn't let me down, man. You didn't let anybody down. Like, failing is not letting anybody down, man. Trust me. Like, you're human. Everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has failures, and failures don't define you, man. Like, your how you come back from those. It's kind of like what this guy is talking about right now. You know, he didn't just give up. Like, actually, the really interesting thing about this guy, David Goggins, is he's a really heralded Navy SEAL, like an ultra runner, but he sucked at everything when he first started. He couldn't swim. He was a fucking Navy SEAL. Like, he's negative buoyant. He can't float. So all he did to get through that shit is just keep fucking trying, keep going back. A lot of his ultra runs he had his ankles were fucking broken. So he would just tape up his ankles and just run on broken feet. Super gnarly. Like, he's a fucking gnarly ass dude, but it's inspiring to listen to because what he's getting at the core of it is that failing is regular, and if you get used to suffering and going through the suffering, you callous the part that it makes it scary and thinking that you're done as soon as you fail. You're not done as soon as you fail. You can get back up and try again. You can try again. You can try again until you succeed. And that's how people succeed at things, you know? Everybody would be a fucking Navy SEAL if it was easy. Everybody would be sober if it was easy. It's hard. It's hard work to do these things. That's why not everybody does them. So, you just got to get back up and try again, man. That's all. This video is called The Most Eye-Opening 10 Minutes of Your Life. It's kind of ridiculous, and the music and the stock footage is pretty corny, but what he's saying is really inspiring. I really fuck with it, so.
I became the devil, because that was hell. I became the boss, the owner, the CEO of Navy SEAL training. That was my mindset. And that's how you get through things.
Chicago bully, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. Are you okay? Like I said before, man, it's like people fall off the wagon. It's really easy to. But all you got to do is really look at your life and what you're doing in it. And I think if you're like causing car accidents, I think it's a good time to back off. Like I said earlier, nothing bad is going to happen from not drinking, but bad shit might happen from you drinking. Obviously, if stuff like that's happening, man. I'm glad to hear everybody was okay. That's good, man. Yeah, and exactly like Enigmatic Ecstasy said, you're taking the first step right now, man. Fuck, Astro. Are you all right? God damn. That's horrible. The fact that you're not in the car right now is a start. Yep. That's very true, man. Very, very true.
You immerse yourself wherever it is, and you become that. You become that and give yourself no way out. When I was 297 pounds and I was fat as hell trying to be a Navy SEAL, the scariest thing in the world to me, even to this day, was that could have been the rest of my life. I thought then I was trying hard. That's the scariest thing in the world. I thought then, 297 pound, working for Ecolab, spraying for cockroaches, making $1,000 a month. I thought that was me at my 100% potential. Come to find out, a few years later, I wasn't anywhere near that. 106 pounds less, graduated Navy SEAL training, went on to do all these other things. Looking back on that, that was me trying hard. That's why people gotta understand, what is in us, we have no idea until we start trying hard. And I mean really trying hard, where you're obsessed with, hey, this is my new norm. My new norm is that, wow, this isn't always fun. It's not always meant to be fun. And that's when you know you're trying hard. People hear my story and think this guy is sadistic. I realized how the brain works. I figured out how the brain works. I'm a scared kid, and that's what gives me so much power. I had no foundation, and I built this off of just researching the mind. The feeling you get is basically invincibility. You realize that you can't do it all the time. When you need to do it, I know I can go to a place that I can live in. And when you know that you can run on broken legs and you can do certain things that a lot of people can do, but they're not willing to do, this power, this sympathetic nervous system of fight or flight, and you're fighting, it gives you this charge of energy of when you're sitting there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and you're duct taping your feet up because they're broken, and you're doing it by yourself, and you're going through arguably one of the hardest training in the world. And these guys, most of them are healthy, and you're going through it broken, and you're already at a disadvantage, but you're still there. You can feed into that and tap into that for a lot of power. But if you look at it, well, I'm broken, man. Like, I'm not gonna make it. But if you look at it as, man, I'm broken and I'm still here. And I'm fighting, and I'm gonna find a way to get through this, because I have no other place to go. It gives you a lot of power. When things start to suck really, really bad, my brain and a lot of people's brain, they don't go to your dad beating you up. Your brain says, we gotta get the out of here. This is miserable. So anger goes away a lot of times when you're suffering, because your brain just says, we gotta run, we gotta go. So that anger is not popping up saying, oh, I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna show those people. No, there has to be a much deeper, when I say deeper, it has to be down to mineral soil. It has to be down to that nice mineral soil where nothing can burn. You can't burn dirt. So it has to be down that low, that literally is something in you that's at the core of your soul. But you don't find it unless you spend a lot of time with what you want to be in life. I can't give that to you.
Right.
You can't give it to somebody. When you find your true passion in life, and my passion for me, when like, oh, I want to be, I don't give a Navy SEALs, Army, I don't give a shit. I want to serve my country. I want to be someone that I'm proud of. I want to look at myself in the mirror because I was so disappointed. That accountability mirror I talk about, I was so disappointed in what I saw every day. I wanted everybody to love David Goggins. And a lot of people did. I didn't love myself. But I knew a lot of us want to find peace first. So people say, man, you always talk about this suffering and pain and I'm at peace right now because I went through that. You don't find peace first. If you do, Merry Christmas. More power to you. More power to you. I found peace on the opposite end of finding myself. And no one really finds themselves without going through trials, tribulations, suffering, accountability. And accountability is suffering. Being accountable every day for doing right for yourself, for the people next to you, it's miserable. It's hard. So, you know, even the smallest details.
Dope little video. Cool fucking video, guys. Yeah, I mean, he's also on Joe Rogan, if you guys want to check out that. But he has he's super motivating to listen to. Like, I listen to him and I just want to fucking, like, run through a goddamn wall. And I can't do that. But yeah, guys, let's wrap this up. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. Like I said, we're going to be live every single Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Same place, same time, no matter what. I will always be going live every single week at this time. No matter where I am, what I'm doing, I will just fucking go live. So, appreciate everybody in the chat. Hollow isn't making it, Desi, but we're going to do a watch tomorrow with Hollow and Geechee. We're going to talk about Hollow's sobriety challenge tomorrow. He might come by, next week I'm going to be in Colorado, so I'm actually going to do a route in an hour from Colorado. But, yeah, so we'll talk about it tomorrow on watch. And I appreciate everybody in the chat that came by. Appreciate everybody that opened up. Means a lot. Thank you, Pigsty, for holding it down. You're the man. Appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has a good day. I'm going to keep the chat live for a little bit. If you guys want to wrap up and talk about anything else, feel free to. But peace, love, and all that good stuff. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Peace.
One above all. That's me. They claim a nigga extra. Never was I breaking under pressure. No sleep. Look in my eyes, they say I'm Uncle Fester. I'm just at my front door waiting on a Tesla. Damn, I thought it was a code. Haters keep hating, I thought we had a truce. Look at my career and they thought it was a fluke. Shorty put a mouth on me and she thought it was a fluke. Nah, it's just me. You almost called a double team, but it's just D. If you knew better, you would do better. That's for whoever that's stuck in this new era. You know the vibes. I've been looking in the stocks, more opportunities, I'm looking in the yachts. You know what they say, gotta put it in the universe. So I had to give it to you in the verse. Look, I'm just trying to get you motivated. Man, I'm really trying to motivate you. The last thing that I told a hater, baby, thank you for the motivation. Look, man, I'm really trying to motivate you. Celebrate when you know you made it. Don't worry, it ain't overrated. I'm just trying to get you motivated. Simply lemonade, bottle full of mixed liquor. Y'all get on my nerves like a kid's sister. Do a couple deals, they wanna get with you. I signed for 6 figures, bitch nigga. Y3 fanatic, I be on it. Yeah. New gear dropped and they call me for it. Jay got me out for a 40 foreign. The bank gave my home alone like Macaulay Culkin. What a crazy world. Aisha want a son, I want a baby girl. And that's family over money. Can't wait till I hear the words, daddy did it for me. Happy and I'm lucky. My wife went from 12-hour shifts to now writing scripts. Ain't life a bitch, you know what they say, gotta put it in the universe. So I had to give it to you in a verse. I'm just trying to get you motivated. Man, I'm really trying to motivate you. The last thing that I told a hater, baby, thank you for the motivation. Baby, man, I'm really trying to motivate you. Celebrate when you know you made it. Don't worry, it ain't overrated. I'm just trying to get you motivated. One above all. That's me. They claim a nigga extra. Never was I breaking under pressure. No sleep. Look in my eyes, they say I'm Uncle Fester. I'm just at my front door waiting on a Tesla. Damn, I thought it was a code. Haters keep hating, I thought we had a truce. Look at my career and they thought it was a fluke. Shorty put a mouth on me and she thought it was a fluke. Nah, it's just me. You almost called a double team, but it's just D. If you knew better, you would do better. That's for whoever that's stuck in this new era. You know the vibes. I've been looking in the stocks, more opportunities, I'm looking in the yachts. You know what they say, gotta put it in the universe. So I had to give it to you in the verse. Look, I'm just trying to get you motivated. Man, I'm really trying to motivate you. The last thing that I told a hater, baby, thank you for the motivation. Look, man, I'm really trying to motivate you. Celebrate when you know you made it. Don't worry, it ain't overrated. I'm just trying to get you motivated. Simply lemonade, bottle full of mixed liquor. Y'all get on my nerves like a kid's sister. Do a couple deals, they wanna get with you. I signed for 6 figures, bitch nigga. Y3 fanatic, I be on it. Yeah. New gear dropped and they call me for it. Jay got me out for a 40 foreign. The bank gave my home alone like Macaulay Culkin. What a crazy world. Aisha want a son, I want a baby girl. And that's family over money. Can't wait till I hear the words, daddy did it for me. Happy and I'm lucky. My wife went from 12-hour shifts to now writing scripts. Ain't life a bitch, you know what they say, gotta put it in the universe. So I had to give it to you in a verse. I'm just trying to get you motivated. Man, I'm really trying to motivate you. The last thing that I told a hater, baby, thank Thank you for the motivation, baby. Man, I'm really trying to motivate you. Celebrate when you know you made it. Don't worry, it ain't overrated. I'm just trying to get you motivated.